my name is Rosemarie Neumayer and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a doll unboxing video, so if you're not into adult doll collecting, you might want to skip this one. So, first thing, today is November 11th, which is Remembrance Day, and I'm wearing my dad's poppy. This is a pattern I made last year for my father. Remembrance Day is very important to him, and it's interesting because I grew up in a how can I put this? I grew up on the other side of the fence. My mother's family was Austrian. And so it was very much an important time, and my grandparents there really instilled that in me. Even though they were just children when when World War II had happened, they instilled in me how very important it was to remember what had happened and what we must never let happen again. And so it's always been a very important thing for me. Here in Canada, the poppy is copyright by the Legion. So I do have a free poppy pattern on my website, but please never sell it because, again, the Legion needs the support, and they do have the copyright. So if you're going to do any type of display or anything like that, make sure you check with your local Legion and get approval first. That being said, for all those who did give their lives in all wars, it's important that we remember their sacrifice and work to prevent that from ever happening again. So, without further ado, I'm just going to take a pause here and collect myself. Okay, and let's move on. I'm unboxing in the evening, so I've tried very hard to get a lot of light on. Tyler came yesterday. He's Ruby Red Fashion Friends, and is a very interesting little story on this one. Tyler started off as a fan edition made doll with a different name, Russell by the Sea, because originally it was based off a design by the gentleman at Happily Ever After called Russell, that doll, and everyone loved that doll. That went kind of crazy for him. I understand why. He was really cute. This was before I got into Ruby Red Fashion Friends, and so everybody loved this doll, and so one of the designers, Kindred and Tribe, came out with this lovely Russell by the Sea, and because of things like naming and all that, and respect to the original creator, with this particular doll, they've renamed it Tyler by the Sea, or Tyler, just Tyler. So, and Tyler is named for a mega fan who does such amazing doll photography. Has the full setup. It makes everything look real. Like, I wish I was one of Tyler's dolls. They live way better than I do. So anyway, also a huge fan of Russell, so it's very this kind of connection there, right? I'm also a big fan of that particular mold. This is the Alex face mold, in case you're wondering, which goes on to be the Ella face mold. It's also been Clark and Russell, and so anyway, so I love this face mold. It's a modified Diana Effner mold. So I think it's pretty much the mouth area that's a little different, but otherwise it's the same eye set and all that as Sarah. And it's just a lovely, really, how can I put this? It's just such a childish, youthful, beautiful face. I love it. It's definitely, probably, I'd have to say, my favorite Coraline face. And I love when it gets into the fan editions and things like that as well, too. So, fan edition, I treat like limited edition because they have said that if they get enough requests, they'll make another run of a fan edition, but I have yet to see that happen. So if you want one, snatch it up because it's not going to happen yet otherwise, it's just, you're not going to get it. So it came yesterday. And I was like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow during the daylight. Well, my sleep schedule, because we've had some snow, and I get migraines that knock my sleep schedule for a loop. Schedule, please. My sleep patterns on random. Thank you, migraines and head injuries. By the way, wear a helmet, people, okay? Don't hit your head. Anyway, so it's not going to happen. And I'm not going to wait, because last week Grace came. She's a limited edition. She's still available, funny enough. from last Christmas. She was last Christmas doll. There was Grace and Chloe. Chloe sold her out. Grace is still around, and I've been wanting her, and I thought, you know what, I'll get her for myself for Christmas, and I'll tuck her aside. That lasted all of a week before I just teared into the box like a mad woman. I don't have that kind of self-control. So, anyway, so you don't get to see that one being unboxed. Mind you, a lot of other people have, and I know Nikki's Dolly World has actually just unboxed Tyler back on yesterday. Yeah, or was it the day before? I think Monday. Anyway, so here's the box. This beautiful box. Love these. They're very hard cardboard. Very hard, heavy-duty cardboard. And then you can get into them. Okay, and then we open them up. Tissue. Pull that back. And there's everything they come with, right? So we've got the little protector box for the head with foam, and then the tissue with everything wrapped. The Ruby Red Fashion Friends do come usually undressed, simply because of dye transfer. It can happen. They're a high quality vinyl, but it can still happen. Specifically, it happened with Alex and his flannel shirt that stained his very pale arms. So they've been concerned about that ever since, and better safe than sorry. I agree with that philosophy. So let's have a Tyler by the Sea. I'm not really big into nautical, but because of the doll it is, I was just like, I have to have it. And it is just so well done. He's just the perfect little sailor. He got these little boots, which are like all lace up, very thick sole. I mean, again, these things, just, you could wear them if you could fit them. And then his little card, and then it says on the back, designed by Kindred and Tribe, and there's the little picture there, shows you her concept drawing, and then the actual finished product, which is lovely. So thank you for that. And we'll just move right along here. Oh, his little straw hat. Because every good sailor needs a straw hat. So, it's got tissue to keep it in its shape. And a very navy blue ribbon going around the edge. And into the tissue we get. Very carefully here. You will hear crinkling. I'm so sorry. I try and minimize that because I'm not a fan of that noise either. But it's impossible to get away from. So he's got his little shorts, and they have these, oh gosh, they really are. Okay, so the tiny, tiny little nautical buttons. They did a video on the Ruby Red Fashion Friends channel so that you can see how they design this, like even down to customizing these little tiny nautical buttons. Like, look at that, they got the little anchors on them, just adorable. And getting those specially made, and then you see his little outfit and his little details. He is sold out, so I'm sorry you can't get him unless you get him on the aftermarket, somebody selling him. His little socks, and this is why I'm like, if you want a limited edition, just, you know, a fan edition, treat it like limited edition and just get it. I've learned my lesson. I missed out on Clark because of that. Because I didn't understand. So I was like, oh, well, it's not limited, so she'll come back. I would love to see Clark return. Is it ever going to happen? No idea. She's a pirate, by the way. So adorable. Okay. Little pirate captain. And here is Russell. And they've got little plastic protecting his arms. And he comes in his underpants. I'll just get him dressed here for us. Now, one thing is that they do for the limited edition and the fan editions, all that, basically, put it this way, if it's not core line, the wig will not be glued on. You can request that they glue on the wig prior to mailing you your doll. They will do that, absolutely. There's a little section in the purchase box, and you can ask for that. Should you be someone who prefers the wig is glued on, and then that way in place, you know, and you don't have to be like, do I have it in the right spot? However, I didn't know that, so I never asked, which is good, because I've actually kind of gotten really interested in changing up the wigs, because it's just gives you a completely different doll when you change the hair. It's like, wow. And so for, you know, a day, a week, however long you want, you can have this doll in a completely different look, and it's as if you'd purchased a different doll, which is, you know, and you can, different themes and different looks and everything like that, and it's just, so cute. God, sweet little face. Okay. Let's get him ready. I'm like, oh, gushing. So cute. Because he is. He's adorable. And so throw socks on here. But yeah, so you can absolutely request that they do a wig gluing on. So if that's something you would like. Or you can just leave it as is and get it without the wig on. They do send you a band, a rubber band, to go around the head that keeps the wig in place so that it doesn't slide off. And yeah, so it all depends on what you want to do. And all the core line dolls, because they're geared for around 6 and up, come with their hair glued on, with the wig glued on. Because, again, they're aiming for a younger market, their starting age anyway. For the limited edition and the fan editions, they've got this geared at 14 and up. Because it's just, again, they're not made, there's a lot of detailing that goes into them. They're not made for young kids, they're made for collectors. So, which is great. We appreciate that. So, and I actually, this one is probably, oh, yeah, you're the longest I've waited for a doll. I ordered Tyler back in the summer when the pre-order came about, and they had a kind of a ingenious workaround for the whole tariff situation. Anyway, on how to purchase him. So they did that, and anyway, so I had opted in, and I was like, yes, I want this doll, and so I paid for him back in the summer. And I went on a bit of a dolly binge, by the way, this summer. Anyway, he came finally yesterday. So sometimes it can take a while. It'll, you know. But I knew that too going in. They were very much like, you know, we're expecting to have him for November. So, you know, end of October, beginning of November type deal. So I knew that going into it. And I have to say the anticipation was well worth it, because just, so cute. All his little outfit has little snaps, by the way. So no Velcro to snag, because this is very high quality fabric, but it's very shiny, and if you ever got Velcro on that, it would just snag. So the fact that they've used snaps is something I very much appreciate in this particular instance. And there we go. Getting there. And put those boots on before we go any further. The boots is probably one of the biggest deals when you're lacing these up. But I have to say the attention to detail here is just phenomenal, and I love that. I'm one of these people that I just love attention to detail. In my own toy making, you know, I do, because I make stuffies, but I also make crochet dolls as well. And so in my own work, I'm very detail oriented. That's just who I am. You know, And so I appreciate all the details and things like that that have gone into making these little guys. And it's just, they're just phenomenal. It's like, wow. You just, something you don't really see too often. And so it's just phenomenal. And now they are a string-based doll. So basically, while they are points of articulation, they have 9 points of articulation. Here we go. We've got the head, fully turns, tilts, all that, right? You've got the hands up and down, and then da-da, you can do this, you know, and you can, it doesn't always necessarily stay, especially out of the box, they can be a little stiff, because the cord is brand new. It's never been, you know, it's a big, giant elastic cord, elasticized cord anyway. It, you know, never been used before, so things can be a little stiffer. And then at the hip here with his leg, and then bend. And so it's kind of what I like to call like a beginner ball jointed doll. I have one of the Minnies. I have Minnie Bella, and she's fully articulated, fully ball jointed, like all the plastic, and it's a hard quality, heavy plastic body to be able to do all that. But there are days where I just don't have that in me. It's, you know, you gotta have good hand control, which I don't always have, so, gotta loosen this one up a little more. But they are just, how can I put this? I like the level of articulation that these ones have, the 9 points, because it's just enough articulation to be able to take really super cute photos, which I love, and to be able to put them in really cute little poses and, you know, have fun with that. I'm a photographer. I was in film and theater for a decade, and I loved doing photography for it as well. Always behind the scenes, by the way. Well, okay, I say that, but once I was in a play. That was at the end to see if I could at least do something still, and yeah, it was a bit much. I played a ghost. There you go, fun fact about me. But again, it was a technical role, because I'm not an actress. I'm not an actor. Actresses get paid less. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody who wants to get the same wage is an actor. So that's my thoughts, having been on the business, or been in the business. No need to feminize the language, because you're still doing the same job. Let's, you know, give credit where credit is due. An actor is an actor, and they should be paid the same. Okay. So, get his hair here. But, yeah, so I loved doing the photography. I've actually been a wedding photographer at a few weddings as well, which, you know, is fun to do. And I enjoyed it a lot. But one thing is, you know, everybody always moves. You know, right before you're getting that perfect shot, you've got it, you're like, yes, and just before the shutter closes, they've moved. Well, that really doesn't happen with dolls. So if you're taking a picture and you want to model and you're setting it up and you put out your doll and you arrange it just so, most of the time it's going to stay in place. Every now and then they do tend to get a little wonky and fall over, but way less trouble than humans to photograph. Oh, look at that. Okay. And anyway, so that's just my thoughts there. I also love playing with perspective. I love taking a photograph of a doll, of dolls, and making it look like it's, you know, outside. I'll go on little adventures in my backyard, or like my neighborhood, in the sense like where the area I live, the little town in which I live, and I'll you know, take photos there. And it's just fun to play with perspective to try and make the doll look, you know, real, or human-sized anyway. So it doesn't look like you've got a doll. And I'll just fix the back here. Oh, wow. this wig went on lovely. Okay, I have to say, I think I got that right. And picture, like cheat card. Do I have that? Just over the eye there. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So here is our handsome little sailor. Look at him, so cute. And there he is. Wish I had better lighting for you, but you know, there we go. You can see him. He's adorable. And his little hat. There you go. Say hi to the folks. So there you go. That's Tyler by the sea. Yeah, he's just a little sweetie. I mean, look at him. He's adorable. The original concept drawing had freckles. And that's the one thing I was like, oh, he doesn't have freckles. Sometimes things happen from production to design and it doesn't end up happening. Not everything gets put in. And so, or something, just whatever the final design that gets hammered out ends up being a little different. That's part of the creative process. Stuff keeps evolving and changing. So as an artist, I get that. And I loved the freckles. I love dolls with freckles. I'm a bit of a sucker for freckles and curls. So, however, the fact that he does not have the freckles does not stop me at all, because I love him. He's so handsome, and it's just reminds me of my dad, like so much with the freckles, because my dad doesn't have freckles. So it's like, oh wow, okay, like what my dad looked like as a kid. So if he ever watches this, he'll be like, oh God, okay. Clearly not a doll guy, but that's okay. Anyway, so I said I would have some surprises for you. So I thought, why not bring on Grace? I know I unboxed her already, so you're not going to get to see that process, but you can at least appreciate this little sweetie. She is so cute. She's the Rin mold, and I love this face specifically with the darker skin tone, right? Because it's just the face, the nose is a little wider, the cheeks, everything. I just feel it works even better this way. It's just so cute. So she's got her little purse, okay? And this purse has a real working zipper, okay? So she can put all her little treasures in there. Tiny little dressmaking zipper. Like, again, details galore. There's a little sparkle, tiny little sparkle woven into the fabric of her coat. And she's got her bag. So there. Now the one thing she doesn't come with are mittens, which I was like, what? It's missing from the design. But otherwise, she's just a lovely winter themed doll. And just perfect for this time of year. Because you can get you a little excited about winter. So I made her these little mittens. I was like, that's it. I'm going to crochet her mittens. So she has her little purple mittens that I crocheted for her. So just pop those off. So that's a me thing. And so that's what she looks like. And just so sweet. And then she's got her hat. The way they designed her hair is fantastic too, because she's got wavy hair. And wavy hair starts around the ear and down. So that way she gets the curl, but she doesn't have hat hair, which is phenomenal. That was such just a stroke of genius, really, in the design process for this particular doll. And there she is. Look at that sweet little face. She's one of those dolls that I just, like, first time ever where I saw the doll bald, and I was just like, wow. Even bald, she's just stunning. Just absolutely amazing without her wig on. I couldn't believe it. So we'll pop her little jacket off. It just does up the neck. And as you can see, fully lined. And there she is in her tunic dress with her little necklace. So you can see her there. Oh, doing your little, there we go. And her little boots. She's got sparkly tights on. And she has, they're kind of a grayishy sparkling. And then she's got the same boots, this particular doll, as Ella. Her and Chloe, they use those boots for it, which is, because, I mean, well, look at how good that goes with this. This is perfect. So there's that. And I will just set her aside now. And something that I had done, and because I just thought it would be fun. The thing with the Siblies, they're the 12-inch. They're the exact same as the Ruby Red Fashion Friends in the sense that they're the 9 points of articulation. They're just a little shorter. So we have Russell, who is now Tyler, and Tyler is a 14.5-inch doll. And then I thought I would love to have a little Sibly for him. And I thought that, oh yeah, that's perfect. I thought Minnie would be the perfect Sibly for him. And so this is Minnie. And look at how cute she is. She's got little bantu knots at the top there and a little bit of purple in her hair, just a little highlight. All the Siblies have a little bit of purple in them. This is not her original dress. Her original dress is different. But what I did is I bought a doll off of Temu for like 12 bucks. And because it had this adorable little sailor dress, and I thought that would be a perfect match. So she's got her original shoes on with socks, little sparkly gold shoes. And I thought that her and Tyler would make really, really good siblings. So here you go. Here's my siblings. And there they are standing next to each other. So you can see the height difference between the two. So there's the 12-inch and the 14.5-inch. And now keep in mind his shoes are thick. So he's about 15 inches tall in these shoes. Gives him a little extra height. And there we go. So that is my unboxing and the little extra surprises. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, share, and subscribe so I can grow this little tiny channel of mine. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.